Hi, yoga family. It's Tara from Prosperous Yoga here. I apologize for running a couple minutes late today. Liability waivers up on the screen. I'm going to switch it out. For some information on today's class, welcome to Gentle Yoga for All Bodies, Tuesday at 12 p.m. noon with Prosperous Yoga. That's me, Tara. This is a donation-based class, and a portion of our proceeds this month will be going to Bushwick Ayuda Mutua, or Bushwick Mutual Aid. And they are a local community charity here in Bushwick, Brooklyn, where I live, that is helping support families in need throughout the COVID-19 crisis. Today is going to be for the neck and the shoulders, and you can donate to Bushwick Ayuda Mutua directly using the link that's on the screen right now, or you can Venmo or Cash App me, and I will let you know what we made for the charity as a community at the end of the month. Please don't let not being able to donate stop you from participating in some self-care. Cool. Last month we made $125 for Trans Lifeline. Hi, how is everyone this afternoon? I hope you're doing well. So today is going to be a little bit of a shorter class. It's going to be focused on in the neck and shoulders. So I would like you to please have your mat. Ta-da! And a folded up blanket or a pillow or a bolster, whatever you have, something to sit up on, or you can sit in a chair. We're going to be sitting for quite some time today because we're going to really be focused more on here. We will move on to all fours and a little down dog option if you want to move a little bit more. But I want you to find a comfortable seat and really, truly find a comfortable seat. Take a moment to set yourself up really nicely so that you can stay in this position for a while. So I have very tight hips, so I'm going to go ahead and use a bolster under my booty so that I have quite some elevation and I'm comfy enough to stay here and guide you through yoga practice for a moment. Welcome. That's step one, right? Let's welcome ourselves, ground ourselves, and calm the body, okay? So take a moment, regardless of where you are, to start to notice how the body is connecting to the earth, to the ground, to the mat, to the pillow, or blanket or chair underneath you that is supporting you, holding your weight. Close the eyes if you feel comfortable, or if not, just invite a nice gentle gaze at the ground in front of you. We have two options for the palms today. I would like you to place your palms on the thighs with intention. You can place the palms face down if you feel like you need more of a grounding practice, or you can place the palms face up if you feel like you need to welcome some receptivity. Okay? I'd like you to start to draw your attention towards the breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale. Go ahead and sigh out of the mouth, an audible sigh. So audible, I want to be able to hear you from wherever you are, right? Let it all go, all tension. Again, inhale through the nose, nice and deep, fill up the belly. Exhale, press the belly button to the spine, sighing it out. Good. One more, just like this. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling, pressing the belly button to the spine, sighing it out, maybe fluttering out the lips. Releasing all tension. Good. I'd like to start with Samavriti Pranayama, or equal part breathing, the breath work that we've done. If you've been with Gentle Yoga for All Bodies, then you're going to be familiar with this. And if you're new to it, then stick with me and I will give you a tutorial, okay? So the equal part breathing is what it sounds like. And if you want to go ahead and get started, go for it. We're going to use a 4 count today. We're going to inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath inside for a count of 4. See what it feels like to allow the breath full to circulate inside of our lungs and abdomen. And then we'll exhale for a count of 4, pressing the belly button to the spine, seeing if you can extend the exhale, a nice slow full exhale for all 4 counts, okay? We're going to do this about 5 times. I will guide you through the first couple, and then I'll ask you to finish a few on your own, okay? So go ahead and first exhale, empty everything out, really press the belly button to the spine, pressing all that stale air that might be stuck in the remote corners of the lungs out. And here we go. We're going to inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Slow exhale. 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Inhale slowly to fill up. 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. Belly button to spine. 2, 3. Exhaling. 4. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Good. Do 2 more of these on your own count, in your own time, with your own breath. Inhaling, holding the breath. Exhaling, letting go of anything that doesn't serve you as you expel the air. 1 more, last one. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale, belly button to spine. Excellent. Go ahead and release the equal part breathing practice and return to your normal breath. Eyes still closed if you feel comfortable sitting up nice and tall. And I'd like you to take a moment here to just scan through the body from head to toe. To just do an inventory of how you're feeling today internally, how the body's feeling, where you might be feeling any tension. Okay? I welcome you to blink the eyes open. Today is neck and shoulders day, so we're going to start with some juicy shoulder rolls, okay? Inhale, we're going to squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. I mean, really squeeze. So tight. Maybe you even start to shake, okay? And then we're going to start to move the shoulders backwards, but they're still lifted, okay? And I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together while my shoulders are still scrunched up to my ears. On my next exhale, I'm going to press the whole shoulder girdle down. I'm still squeezing my shoulder blades together. And now I'm going to bring them down and around to the front. So now I'm actively pressing my shoulders down and trying to get the shoulder heads to meet one another in front of my chest, okay? Doing these super exaggerated, slow shoulder rolls, okay? I'm going to turn to the back so you can see what's going on with my shoulder blades. You keep doing those shoulder rolls. Up, right? And then the shoulders are staying up as I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together. This is difficult, especially because I have a lot of knots and tension in my shoulders right up through here, right? So if this feels difficult, that is totally normal, especially with how much we're on our technology these days, right? So what happens, go ahead and keep doing these deep shoulder rolls as I talk you through what's happening when we get knots and pain in our the tops of our shoulders and our neck here. Right, we have a bunch of different layers of muscles here. And what happens is sometimes they contract to work for us, right? And then they get stuck, right? And they just stay in this kind of active position. And that causes the muscles to kind of clump on top of one another and freeze in this contracted position, which often causes a lot of pain and shoulder knots, okay? So what we're trying to do with these really intense shoulder rolls that I hope you're still doing as I'm talking is we're trying to essentially tire tire out the muscle. We're trying to fatigue it. That's the word I was looking for. So that the muscle is fatigued and squeezed enough that it just lets go. It's too tired to keep holding on in that contracted position, okay? All right, come to stillness, and we're just going to do a couple counter shoulder rolls in the other direction. You don't have to work so hard for these. Let these ones just be nice and gentle with the shoulders going down and back, and then squeezing the shoulder blades up and around to the front. Good. Do 3 more. Cool. Go ahead, shake it out. That's a lot, right? Okay. We're going to work on a couple of neck rolls now. So go ahead, drop the chin into the chest. And we'll roll the shoulders from side to side. We roll the shoulders. We're rolling the neck from side to side. Silly Tara. Tricks are for kids. Go ahead, yeah, and just roll it back nice and gently. The chin is going to come down towards the chest through the center, and then the right ear will come towards the right shoulder, and we'll roll through the center. The left ear will come towards the left shoulder. Do about 3 more of these to each side. Oof. Cool. The next time you come to the right side, right ear to right shoulder, pause. Leave it here. Maybe this is enough for you. If you want to take it a step further to really get a nice stretch through that left side neck, we're going to take the right hand and we're going to bring it over to the left ear. We're going to gently draw the shoulder down away from the ear, right? We don't want to do this. And we're going to take our fingertips to start to draw that right ear closer to the right shoulder. Maybe you want even more of a stretch and the left hand comes out by the hips, right? If you're seated in a chair, it can feel really good to like grab onto the bottom of the chair and use that to help get more of a stretch. My hips are actually high enough that I can't reach the floor, and that's fine too. I also welcome you to play around with the height of this left arm, and when you find the spot that is sticky, go ahead and leave it there and take 3 deep breaths. 3 deep breaths in through the nose, sending the breath towards that sticky, any painful spots in the shoulder, and exhaling. And remember, if you're truly feeling pain, to back off. But if you're feeling discomfort, see if you can challenge yourself to breathe through the discomfort, right? That's how we become comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's also how we push past our boundaries. Cool. I want you to go ahead and release the left hand back to the lap. And we're just going to turn the chin down towards that right shoulder, right? So my chin is pretty level here. I'm turning it in and down towards this right shoulder. So now I'm feeling the stretch more here. As before, I was feeling it more on the side of the neck. Now I'm feeling it more towards the left side, the left back of the neck here. Yep, and 3 deep breaths here. Closing the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, really concentrating on letting go of any tension you might be holding on to in the neck and the shoulders. Good. On your next exhale, release the hand and release the chin back into the chest. Take a breath here in the center to reset before we head on over to the other side. Exhale, drawing left ear towards left shoulder. Maybe we stay here. Maybe the left hand comes to the right side of the head, drawing that left ear towards the shoulder. Maybe we grab the bottom of the chair with our right arm, or we walk the fingertips out on the ground, or maybe we play around with the height to get the best stretch right through the neck. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling. Inhaling, sending the breath to any spots of tension. Exhaling, pressing the belly button to the spine, letting go of this tension that no longer serves you. One more deep, juicy breath here. We want to try to make sure when we practice yoga that we give each side equal attention, right? There's always one favorable side, and we like to stay there longer than the other side. And that's okay. We're human, right? But I want to make sure that we try to stay as even as possible. Go ahead and release that right hand back to the lap. And we're going to start to draw the chin towards that left shoulder so that we move the stretch from the side of the right neck to the back of the right neck. 3 deep breaths here. Remembering to press the shoulder away. I felt my shoulder creeping up as I made that adjustment with my chin. Inhaling deeply, sending the air to the sticky spots. Exhaling, pressing the belly button to the spine. One final breath here. And on the exhale, release the hand. We're going to slowly drop that chin back into the chest. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to bring the chin parallel to the earth, but not for long. Inhale, draw the fingertips out. Really stretch your fingers wide from side to side, okay? And we're going to clasp the hands above the head. Take a moment to flip the palms towards the ceiling if it feels good and just really stretch the body up tall. Maybe invite a little bit of a back bend if it feels good for you. And then we're going to bring this clasp to the back of our neck, to the nape of our neck. Then we're going to draw the belly button to the spine, draw the chin in towards the chest, and start to draw the elbows towards one another so that we're using the hands on the nape of the neck and the elbows trying to connect in front of the face to get a super awesome stretch through the tops of the shoulder blades and the back of the neck. Okay, we're going to stay here for 5 really deep, the deepest breaths you can possibly manage. Sigh it out if it feels good. For me, making audible breaths, audible exhales really helps me to let go of things that aren't serving me. So especially if you're in your home, right, there's no one to impress. So if it feels good, go ahead, sigh it out. And as we do these last couple of breaths, if it feels good for you, you can start to concave the spine, trying to draw the fronts of the shoulders or the elbows towards the front of the hips so that I'm increasing my stretch by adding this kind of cat spine idea to this neck stretch. Good. Wherever you are, we're going to do 2 more really deep breaths here. Final inhale. And the exhale is going to release everything. Good. We're going to take a moment to do a little self-massage of the jaw, the face, the neck. So I'm going to come up closer to you, but you can stay seated where you are. You can shake out the legs. If your legs are starting to get a little cranky, you can switch the crossing of them. It might feel good, depending on how flexible your knees are, to sit up on your knees with a blanket underneath your booty, sitting in Virasana or Hero's pose. If you need to adjust your seat, if your legs are getting cranky, now is the time to do it. You can also do this next sequence standing if you feel like you want to stand, okay? Wherever you are, make sure that you're up nice and tall, okay? And we're going to start by just taking our fingertips to the forehead, along the hairline, and just kind of, you can either kind of spider it if this feels good, applying some pressure like little spider legs, or you can use some tapping technique right along the hairline, right? We're going to go all the way down to the third eye and along the eyebrow line. I'm going to take my glasses off. If you have glasses on too, it might be useful to take them off if you can still see me, yeah? And we're going to take this little gentle tapping or little spider crawly fingers all the way down the jawline. Yep. And back up. We're going to go across the cheekbones up to the nasal cavity. Nice and gentle, but applying enough pressure that I'm really stimulating the face. Okay, good. And we're going to go back up through the hairline and down to the eyebrow line. Good. We're going to take the thumbs, both thumbs, and we're going to do a nice little massage of this third eye space here. And then we're going to take both thumbs at the same time and bring them to where the bridge of the nose meets the eyebrow, and apply some pressure here. Take a deep breath, and on your exhale, start to draw the thumbs along the eyebrows. This should feel really nice and juicy. 3 more times, inhaling with the thumbs kind of locked in right at the bridge of the nose, and then exhaling, Drawing the thumbs along the eyebrows to the temples. Good. One last time. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. Now we're going to take the pointer and the middle finger to the temples. Give yourself a nice little temple massage here. You're saying, Tara, this is for neck and shoulders. Why are we doing a little face massage? Because so much of our neck and shoulder tension comes from clenching our jaws when we're stressed and we don't even realize that we're doing it, or when we're sleeping. Go ahead and reverse the circle. Oh, I'm putting myself to sleep. I hope this feels really nice and nourishing for yourself. And I hope that while you're giving yourself this nice little massage, you're saying some kind things to yourself and practicing gratitude for taking this time for self-care. We're going to bring the base of the palms to where the top and the bottom of the jaw connect. Okay, I'll show you on this side, right? And I'm going to apply pressure right in there. It helps to drop the jaw a little bit so you can really get in there. See if you can let go of the jaw and just kind of let it hang. Okay? And then we're going to draw the base of the palms towards the mouth. Getting a really nice massage along the jawline here. Yeah. Do it 3 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. My microphone is in the way. That's okay. You keep doing what you're doing. 2 more. Good. Now we're going to take our hands to the tops of our shoulders. Thumbs will be in front of the shoulders. Fingertips will be in back. And just squeeze. Squeeze this chunk of muscle right here. Which for me, that's where I hold a lot of my tension and a lot of my muscle knots. So go ahead and really dig in there. Do what feels good for you. Yep. And then you can start to bring it up the neck a little bit. When I go up the neck, I don't squeeze so much. I kind of use my fingertips to just move some of the tight muscles that are in there. Good. Take about 30 more seconds to give your neck and shoulders a little love, a little self-massage. Making sure you're breathing deeply the whole time. Good. Now, draw the fingertips up to the base of the skull, right? There's like a little notch where the skull meets the top of the spine, right? And I have my one hand on my right side and one hand on my left side, kind of pressing into this area here where there's that nice little divot. You can just stick your fingers in there and this should feel like a really nice release for the neck. Take 3 deep breaths here. And I know that's an acupressure point as well, but I'm not sure the name of that one. Okay. Good. Go ahead and release. Speaking of acupressure points, we're also going to work on Union Valley one more time. This is the acupressure point in the webbing between the thumb and the index finger. So go ahead and put your hand like so, right? And then follow this little crease that your thumb makes, and that is where you want your thumb to, there we go, where you want your thumb to land, yep. And the pointer finger can just meet it on the opposite side, right? And we're going to apply some pressure here, or you can massage in little circles, whatever feels best for you. This is a really good pressure point to release headaches, neck tension, all that good stuff. So if you have a headache, you might want to try doing this for 3 minutes on each side. We're not going to take that much time to do it today, but I love sharing this acupressure point because I think it can be very, very effective, especially when we're looking at our computers all day. It's nice to take some time and get into this acupressure point. So we're going to do the same thing, switching it over to the other side. Yep, find that sweet spot right where the little thumb crease ends. Bring the opposite thumb there. The pointer finger can be on the opposite side on the palm. And go ahead and give it a little love. Breathing deeply all the while. Awesome. Okay. Good. Now we're going to start to welcome some nice gentle twists, okay? So you can do this no matter how you're seated. If you're seated in a chair, if you're seated cross-legged like me, or if you decided to kneel like Virasana, okay? And again, we're going to be sitting for the majority of today. So if you need to switch up your seat, go ahead and take the time to do that now. Okay? Little dust bunny baby. Good. So we're going to start by bringing the right hand up by bicep to ear. Okay, inhale, bring that arm up. Yep. And on the exhale, we're going to start by drawing the belly button to the spine and then twisting to our left from our abdomen. Okay, the right hand is going to swoop across towards this left knee, and the left hand is going to swing up and back behind us. So again, if you're seated in a chair and you can grab the bottom of the chair, that's great. If you're in Virasana, you might want to just bring that hand to the sacrum where the bottom of the spine meets the pelvis. And if you're seated on the ground or on a bolster on something like I am, my fingertips are not making it to the ground, so I'm holding the back of the bolster. And we're inviting this nice twist. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I'm making sure that my abs are engaged, my belly button's pulled to the spine. And if it feels okay for your neck, go ahead and turn the nose to look over that left shoulder behind you so that you're taking this twist all the way up the spine. 5 really deep inhales and exhales here. Twists are really good to stimulate digestion and to detoxify the internal organs. And the deeper of a breath you take in this twisted pose, right, the more the organs will wring themselves out. Final inhale. Exhale, slowly unravel back to the front, taking it to the other side, okay? Left hand, inhale. Bicep towards the ear, fingertips reach toward the sky. I'm taking a moment to make sure that my spine is nice and tall, my belly button is pressed back towards my spine, right? And then I exhale to start to twist from my abdomen. And I bring that left hand over to the right knee, twisting my torso towards the right hand side. Inhaling again, bringing my right arm up and back. So it's behind my sacrum, whether it's actually on my sacrum, holding onto the chair or my pillow, or my fingertips are touching the ground. I have the support of my right hand behind me. One more inhale to make sure I'm sitting up nice and tall, pressing my belly button to my spine, and exhaling, trying, if it feels comfortable for the neck, to draw the nose to look over the right hand shoulder. The right shoulder. Bringing that twist all the way up through the neck. 5 deep breaths here. Good. One more deep, deep, deep inhale. Really challenge yourself to inhale as deep as you possibly can to get the maximum benefits out of this pose, this posture. And exhale, release it back to the front. Good. I'm going to take a moment here to shake out my legs. They're getting a little bit cranky sitting this way. And actually, as long as we're here, why don't we engage in a little forward fold? So bring the legs out in front of you. If you're seated in a chair, you can do this seated just fine. My knees are not locked out. I have a gentle bend in my knees, especially because I'm sitting up on this high pillow. So whatever you're sitting up on, you can stay up on it, or if you feel more comfortable removing it and being directly on the floor, that's also fine. Taking a moment to sit up really nice and straight. Inhaling the fingertips out and up overhead. Take a moment to really look up, reach up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And on the exhale, we're going to start to draw the chest towards the thighs. Woo! Will we get there? Maybe not. Is that okay? Absolutely. So just slowly starting to drape the upper body over the legs. You can bring the palms to the ground or to your thighs to help support you. so that you feel comfortable in the shape. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. And the reason I have my knees in a nice gentle bend and not locked out is because I can feel this releasing my low back so much. Instead of just stretching my hamstrings, I'm getting a really nice stretch in my low back. So wherever you are, bring the palms somewhere they can help support you so that you're comfortable in this position. We're going to take 5 deep inhales and exhales here. We're going to release the neck, right? So if you need a little check-in to make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck, go ahead and shake your head yes, shake your head no. Maybe your forehead is making it down to your thighs or your shins. That's awesome. Maybe you're all the way up here and this is enough. You feel that strain on your low back. That's okay too. Meet yourself where you are without any judgment today. Not the easiest task in the world, but I believe in you. You can accept and love your body for where it is and where you are today. And you can nourish that body. And the more you nourish it, the more likely the body is to work with you and to start releasing this tension and to allow you to increase your flexibility. One more deep, deep breath. And on this next exhale, sigh it out and use your hands to start walking the torso back up to seated. Great. Cool. We are going to, let's move on. Let's get into all fours. We don't need to sit anymore. So we're going to come into tabletop position, which is an all fours position with your knees stacked directly under the hips and your wrists, hands, that's what they call these things, stacked right under your shoulders. I like to put a blanket underneath my knees because I got some cranky old lady knees, all right? Cool. So take a moment to just establish a really good base here in this tabletop. Okay? Good. Take a moment to press the palms into the earth. See if you can get as much of your palm flat against the mat as is possible. Same thing with the tops of your feet. Take a moment to really press into them, maybe even drawing the belly button to the spine and just pulling the knees up off the floor. See what that feels like, okay? We're going to take a moment to kind of like wiggle our tail and just work it out, yeah. And then we'll draw the left hip towards the left shoulder so that we're getting a nice stretch in the right side body. Good. It's feeling good for me today to move my left hand in line with my right hand so that I'm getting a little bit of a deeper stretch. Do what works for you here. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, return to center. Take an inhale. And exhale, we'll go to the opposite side. Left hip tries to draw towards left shoulder. Maybe that right hand moves over to the left side of the mat to kind of support you. And I'm looking back over that right shoulder towards my hip. Feels nice in the neck. Deep breath here. Exhale, come back to center. Good. We're going to cat-cow it out. So go ahead and get started. And if you'd like a tutorial, we're going to go ahead and start with an inhale, dropping the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades towards one another. The belly drops towards the floor, and the sacrum, the hips are trying to reach towards the sky. Right? And my nose is going to look towards the ceiling, so I can even get a nice throat stretch in here. On the exhale, I press through the tops of my feet, press through the palms to draw my belly button to the spine. I'm really using my resistance against the floor to get such a nice curve in my spine. And then inhaling, dropping the belly again. And we want the cat-cow motion to be fluid with the breath. Exhale, pressing up, curving the spine into cat. Inhale, coming through to cow. Good. 3 more like this. Start to welcome any organic movements that feel really nice in this shape. Maybe it feels good to stay in cat and kind of squeeze out any muscle tension in the shoulders. Maybe it feels good to stay in cow and work with the neck a little bit. Take about 30 seconds to play with whatever is feeling good for you in this shape. Good. On the next exhale, we're going to walk our palms out in front of us so that we can press our tailbone back towards our heels and welcome a nice child's pose. Rest your forehead on the floor if it makes it there. And if it doesn't, go ahead and grab a pillow or a block to put under your forehead so that you can pay more attention to working some tension out of the shoulders rather than worrying about if your head is making it to the ground or not. Deep inhale and exhale here. Good. We're going to come back up to all fours. And we're going to thread the needle. So we'll take the right fingertips and draw them up the left arm across the chest all the way to the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're going to thread that right fingertip underneath the left armpit, drawing that shoulder to the ground, drawing that temple to the ground. Maybe walking the left hand out overhead to get a nice side stretch as well. Threading the needle. 3 deep breaths here. We're almost done with the active part of class. We're going to move to being on our backs very soon. Inhale, replace the left hand by the face so that you can use it to press the torso back up. Right fingertips come to the sky before replacing themselves back down, taking it to the other side. Left fingertips come up the right arm across the chest, all the way to the ceiling on an inhale. And then we exhale, we thread that left arm underneath that right armpit, walking those fingers along the ground so that maybe our left shoulder and left temple reaches the ground. Maybe we have a pillow under the head to help support us. That's fine. No worries. Wherever you are today is just right. Maybe we walk the right fingertips towards the top of the mat, pressing into that palm to add a nice side stretch to the body here in this stretch. 3 deep breaths. Final inhale. Replace the right hand by the face. Draw those left fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And we'll come back to all fours. Good. Go ahead and sit down on either hip. Pull the legs out in front of you. Get rid of any props you might have underneath you. We're moving on to our backs, babies. We've got one more active pose before we rest. It's going to be a bridge pose. So if you're familiar with the bridge pose and you go for it, we have a couple of options here. We're going to lay on our back with our feet stomped on the floor. Okay. Maybe this is enough for you, right? And we're going to be inhaling to draw the arms up overhead and then exhaling to bring the hands back towards the hips, okay? So maybe that's enough for you. That's option 1, okay? The other option is to add an active bridge with the bottom of the body. This can feel really good on the shoulders here. So you can, 2 options for the bridge too. If you want to, you can place your palms on the ground to help stabilize you and leave them there, right? So on the inhale, you're pressing through the soles of the feet, drawing the hips towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, you're rolling back down through the spine, okay? That's option 1. It's option 2, right? Option 1 is just the arms. Option 2 is just the bottom half of the body. And option 3 is combining the 2, right? So on the inhale, I'll press through the feet as my arms start to lift overhead. Yep. And on the exhale, rolling through the spine, dropping the hips, bringing the fingertips back. Whatever you're doing, we're going to do 5 repetitions. Here we go. Number 1. 2. 3. 4. And last repetition, wherever you are. We're going to meet on our backs with the soles of the feet on the ground. We're going to take the right ankle across the left knee. We're coming into a nice reclined pigeon pose. So go ahead and either stay here. You can bring the arms out into a T or a cactus shape. If you need more of it, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want more of a stretch, draw that right sole of the foot off the floor, thread the hands behind the thigh, and draw the figure four shape towards the face, possibly even using this elbow to press the knee further away from the face to increase the stretch you're getting in the outer hip. The feet should be flexed in order to protect the knees. Take some nice deep breaths here. We'll be here about 30 seconds. Closing the eyes if you feel comfortable. Good. You stay where you are. I'm going to turn around just so I can show you the next movement that we're going to be doing. Okay? Good. If your hands are clasped behind the leg, let them go. The arms should be out in a T or a cactus shape. And we're going to take this whole figure four shape and we're going to turn it into a supine twist. So you want to slide the knees over one another and then bring the knees to twist off to your left side body. If this is too much for you, go ahead and just stack the knees one on top of another like we usually do in class. Wherever you are, close the eyes if you feel comfortable. We'll be here about 30 seconds. See if you can let go of anything that's going through the mind. See if you can focus on your breath the same way we did at the beginning of class when we were practicing equal part breath. Right? Calming the mind is only one of the hardest things in the world, right? But we can do it if we really put our minds to it and practice. We also have to be patient because it's a difficult thing to learn. Inhale, draw the knees into the chest. Before we take it over to the other side, we're going to bring the palms to the knees and draw some circles on the ceiling with the knees. We'll do 5 in one direction, 3, 4, 5, other direction, 1, good, 2, breathing deeply, 3, 4, last one, 5, good. You can bring the arms out to the T. This time we're going to take it to the other side, so the left ankle will cross over the right knee. You can stay here. You can draw the figure four shape, flexed feet towards your face. Thread the palms back behind the thigh, maybe using that elbow to help press it out, increasing the outer hip stretch. 30 seconds, breathing deeply here. Once again, trying to focus on the breath, focus on the physical body. Can you be present in this very moment? All you need to do is be here on this mat right now, paying attention to taking care of yourself. I completely understand how difficult it is to let go of all the thoughts running through your mind. But the truth is that whatever our mind is holding on to, it's being held on to in our physical bodies as well, right? Our mind informs our body that something needs to be active, something needs to be holding tension to hold physical space for whatever is happening in our mental space. So when we are training ourselves and learning and practicing meditation, we're allowing our mind and our body to truly regenerate. Release the clasp if you have it. Arms come out into a T or a cactus shape. We are either crossing the knees over one another and twisting to the opposite side, or we're stacking the knees and then twisting to the opposite side. So whichever direction you went, just make sure you go the opposite. Doesn't really matter to me which side you do first, as long as we're even. 30 seconds here. Breathing deeply, perhaps attaching a mantra to the breath, if that's useful in helping you let go. Maybe inhaling, thinking, let go on the exhale. On your next inhale, we'll draw the knees back into the chest. This time wrapping your arms around your knees. If it feels good for you, maybe drawing the forehead up towards the knees, giving yourself a hug, showing yourself some gratitude for taking this time today. And exhaling to splay the body out into Shavasana. The legs splay out. The arms splay out. Maybe you're more comfortable in Shavasana with your feet on the mat, that's fine, and your knees knocked together. Just make sure you're in a comfortable resting position where you can let go. And I'll guide you through doing such, starting with the toes, the feet and ankles. Release any tension you may feel in the calves, shins, knees, quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. They're all releasing tension and melting into the earth, as are the hips, the low back, and the belly releases. There's no need to hold anything in anymore. We let it all go and let it melt into the earth. Releasing the upper back, the middle back, the chest, the fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, shoulders, shoulder blades, all melting into the earth like warm lava, releasing any tension that no longer serves us. The neck is loose and relaxed. The jaw is not clenched. The teeth have a bit of space in between them, and the tongue floats gently in between the teeth. The face relaxes. There is no expression, no furrow to the brow, and even the scalp is relaxing and letting go of any tension it may not have even realized was there. I'll now leave you in silence for a short while to absorb the benefits of the yoga practice we just engaged in together. Begin to deepen the inhales, filling up the belly, and exhaling, pressing the belly button to the spine. The next inhale is so deep that it starts to stir the body. Fingers and toes wiggle, maybe the wrists and ankles roll out. Maybe the head nods side to side, or maybe you lick the lips. The next inhale draws the arms up overhead, biceps next to ears, so that you're stretching long from fingertips to toes, really reaching, waking up the body. And on the exhale, You can roll over to either side and start to gently push yourself back up into a seat. When you get there, eyes remaining closed if you feel comfortable, or inviting a soft gaze. The palms return to the lap, face up or face down. And we take a moment to scan the body once more, head to toe, taking an inventory. With curiosity, just checking in, does anything feel different than it did about an hour ago when we began? Bring the palms to the chest to meet in a prayer. And lock the thumbs in that little notch in the sternum, sitting up nice and tall, bowing your chin into your chest. Some self-gratitude here. Thank yourself for practicing today, as I thank you for sharing in this time and this yoga practice with me. Draw the thumbs to the third eye and bow to the ground if you feel comfortable doing so. The light in me honors and recognizes the light within you. Namaste, my loves. Thank you so much for practicing with me, Tara, Prosperous Yoga. This was gentle yoga for all bodies, for the neck and shoulders. I went longer than I said I did. Sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed it. And this is a donation-based class. A portion of the proceeds this month will be going to Bushwick Ayuda Mutua. You can donate to them directly using the link up on the screen, or you can Venmo or Cash App me, and I will let you know what we make for Bushwick Mutual Aid. At the beginning of October, we made $125 for Trans Lifeline in the month of August. Thank you so much for your continued support. And our next Gentle Yoga for All Bodies class will be Tuesday at noon on YouTube Live. And you can always catch the recordings if you can't join us live. Thank you so very much for spending your afternoon with me. And I will see you next